a lot of different ways to become a millionaire. There's a saying that 90% of millionaires are made through real estate. And whether that's true or not, it's just one way to get there. In today's day and age, you see people doing it through e-commerce or cryptocurrency. You've also got other ways like investing in stocks or building a business. There are absolute mistakes that you must avoid in order to get there. And in today's video, I'm gonna give you the top 5 mistakes to avoid on your way to becoming a millionaire. If you're new to my channel, my name's Ryan Pineda. I'm a real estate investor and entrepreneur, and the goal of this channel is to help people live the wealthy way. We've got a free course, a free planner, and a free Discord community that I would love for you to become a part of. So go to wealthyway.com to get access to all of those things. Now let's jump straight into the mistakes. The first mistake I see most people making is that they're not reinvesting their profit. And usually this happens in 2 different ways. The first scenario is that they start making some money, but all of a sudden they're just spending too much. Their lifestyle is increasing as their income increases. And we know that that's a recipe to never build wealth. If a person makes $70,000 a year, but they only spend $40,000 of it to live on, they're gonna come out ahead up $30,000 in their net worth. And this would be more than the person who makes $150,000 but spends $150,000. Because that person is adding $0 to their net worth, even though they're living a much more rich lifestyle. And this is the reason why there are so many people who look like they're doing well on Instagram, but when you really break down what they have, it's not a lot. And I see far too many people that are doing a great job of increasing their income, but they lack the discipline to save the money necessary and live on less. So if that's you and you see yourself spending everything, stop doing it. And if you're not quite there yet and you're trying to figure out how to make more money, then just realize you want to maintain your current lifestyle while still making more money. Don't increase your lifestyle when you do make the money. Now let's say that you are living frugally and well below your means. You could still be making the same mistake of not reinvesting by just simply saving your money in the bank and not doing anything with it. Let's take the example I gave earlier where the person was saving up $30,000. If they were to just put that money in the bank and not touch it, in a year from now, that $30,000 isn't worth much more. And in fact, with inflation, you actually lost money by storing it there. So what you have to do when you're trying to build wealth and become a millionaire is reinvest those savings into assets. Now, how you choose to invest that $30,000 is totally up to you and what you want to become an expert in. Maybe you're gonna go put it in stocks. Maybe you're putting it into crypto. Maybe it's gonna be real estate. Or perhaps you're gonna go and use it to start a business. Either way, it should not stay in the bank doing nothing. You need to reinvest the money that you save into some kind of asset that's going to produce you income. So long story short, live below your means and reinvest that money into assets. Now, mistake number 2 is listening to the wrong people. Look, if you're trying to become a millionaire, do not listen to people who are not millionaires. Many of us growing up want to listen to our parents because that's how we were raised and we grow up being respectful of them. But at the end of the day, if you're trying to build wealth and your parents haven't done it successfully yet, then they probably don't know what to tell you, even if they have great intentions. And I'm actually really thankful for how my parents raised me because they always understood their own limitations. When I was growing up, all I ever wanted to do was play professional baseball. Now, my dad wasn't much of an athlete and he didn't play baseball growing up. My mom was a Division I tennis player, but once again, she didn't really have softball or baseball experience. But instead of them trying to tell me how to swing a bat and act like they knew what they were talking about, they just went and hired me the best coaches to help train me the right way. Because if you want to do something successfully, you need to learn from somebody who's done it successfully. And this doesn't just stop with your parents. It also includes your friends, your other family members, and even the people that you watch on social media. If you're trying to be a millionaire and none of your buddies are millionaires, I can promise you they probably don't know what they're talking about. Kind of like the blind leading the blind. You guys might have ideas of how to get there, and that's totally cool. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna take advice, get it from somebody who's already done it the way that you want to do it. And this is why social media is so great, because you can go find other people who have done what you want to do. I would say that many people follow me because I became a millionaire through real estate. And so I have the lessons and advice and experiences of how to go about it starting from nothing, because that's exactly how I did it. But you probably wouldn't want to watch me if you wanted to become a day trader and invest in stocks. I have no idea how to become a millionaire doing that. Whenever I look at people doing those charts and all the trading analysis, To me, it just seems like a big scam. I have no idea what they're even reading or how they're making it. So quite frankly, you should never listen to my advice if I'm ever talking about stocks, because I've had no success, even though I've had success in many other things. So whoever it is you're trying to emulate on social media, just make sure they took a path to get there that you are currently wanting to take. And that leads me to the third mistake to avoid, which is being a perfectionist. There are so many people that do not grow because they're trying to make every little thing perfect. Maybe they're trying to make a video for YouTube and they just want to spend all this time on the one video, and then they just start getting paralysis by analysis, and that video may or may not even get done, or maybe it finally does get done, but they could have did 10 other ones if they weren't being a perfectionist. I can tell you at the end of the day, if you have not become an expert in something and you're on your way to becoming there, being a perfectionist is your number one enemy, mainly because you don't know what you're trying to perfect. You don't have the skills yet. The biggest key is just taking imperfect action consistently. If you're out there making moves and you're making offers on houses, you're pumping out videos for content, you're trying ideas and failing, that is how you grow. It is not from making one little thing perfect before you ever release it to the world. And I'll tell you, even to this day, as we've launched new companies and new products and bought more real estate, I still don't do the right things. I go out there and take action, and then I learn what worked and what didn't work. I try to do more of what works and less of what doesn't. And in turn, all of the products and things you see from me today are from years of taking that imperfect action and refining it. There's no way I would have been able to create all the businesses I have now without going through that imperfect action to see all of the flaws and really form it to what it is today. And because I was willing to take imperfect action, our products continue to get better and my businesses continue to grow. That leads me to the fourth mistake that you need to avoid, which is diversifying. This one is pretty counterintuitive because so many people will tell you, you gotta diversify, it's nice and safe. But when I look at all of the most successful people in the world, they do not diversify. They have specialized in one thing. Whether it was LeBron James learning to play basketball at a high level, could be me learning to flip houses at a high level, or it could have been Warren Buffett focusing on how to trade stocks and buy companies. The point is, every successful person in the world is really good at one thing initially. They're not out there diversifying, trying to get their hands wet in every little thing and being mediocre at all of them. There's just no way to become excellent at many different things all at once. You must first establish yourself with one exceptional skill, and once you've built that skill up, then you could start looking at other potential skills if you so choose. For me, I spent the first 5 years of my career dedicated to flipping and wholesaling real estate. After that, I started to do some other things that were outside of that wheelhouse. I started an e-commerce company, I started doing social media, and we started buying apartment buildings. But I did not do all of those things all at once thinking that I was gonna be an expert in all of them. I had to develop my expertise and specialization in one thing, and eventually that made me a lot of money and it allowed me to diversify into other things down the road. And honestly, when you hear about diversification and all these financial advisors telling you to do that, they're really referring to people who have already made it. For me, diversifying might not be a bad thing at this point. Even though I'm really good at real estate and that's where I want to park most of my money, I may want to hedge my bets because I've worked really hard to build up what I have today. And it may not be as wise for me to just focus on pure growth in the thing I'm really good at, when it might be time to start preserving some of the wealth that I've built. I'm not saying that that's my strategy, but that's typically what happens later in life. The people who've worked their entire lives to build a little bit of a fortune are now in preservation mode. They're not in growth mode. But if you're watching this and you're trying to become a millionaire, you are 100% in growth mode. There's no doubt about it. You are not trying to preserve anything because if you haven't become a millionaire, then you probably don't have many assets to preserve. So you should be focused on specializing, not diversifying. The fifth biggest mistake that I see is probably the most important for people, and it's the reason I see most people fail, have anxiety, and different issues. And that is they make the mistake of trying to do it alone. I can tell you, if you're trying to pursue something, you need to get in community with other people who are pursuing the same things. And along with joining a community, you also need to get a mentor, somebody who can help you get through the issues that you're gonna have. This is exactly why people join Future Flipper if they wanna get into real estate investing. They get to be around all of our other students all over the country, they get to have encouragement, they get to do deals with each other, they lend money to each other, they get to learn from each other as well as myself and my entire coaching staff, and it just makes getting into the business so much easier having a community and mentorship built in. And quick plug, if you're looking to get into real estate investing and you want all that, definitely go to futureflipper.com and apply for a free call. But maybe it's not real estate for you. Maybe it is e-commerce or stocks or getting in other entrepreneurship groups. That's totally fine. Just make sure you get a part of some type of community so that you're not in this alone. There has been no business that has ever been super successful being done alone. You have to be around other people. You need employees, you need inspiration, you need mentors, you need people to guide you. That is what creates true success, and it makes the ride that much more fulfilling as you grow your business and your wealth. Nobody wants to be a millionaire alone. It's really boring. Being a millionaire is fun when you get to be around other people and help them, as well as be around other millionaires and share life with them. So make sure you avoid those mistakes, and I'll give you a bonus mistake that you should not make, and that is to not be subscribed to this channel. If you're trying to grow the way we're trying to grow, make sure you're subscribed. That would be a giant mistake if you're not. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.